Hello, hello. Hello, TV land and YouTube people and other creatures that may be watching. We're going to do a movement session exercise, probably throw in some breath work, some lymph, and maybe even a little Laban just for funsies. So this is an invitation for you to get up off of your tuchus, to move your body. And the movement really is for health. This is for long-term ability to keep moving, right? So like we are moving our bodies so that we can continue to move our bodies. Inhale, open, and I see one of my little assistants is in here. He is an expert mover, maybe the best mover in the whole house. He's got some special skills. And exhale, use your breath, fill up your lungs. Let's shake it out, shake, 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 shake. So you're just inviting the tissue in your body to wake up. You're inviting your nervous system to come into balance, right? So that we're not in autonomic, like sympathetic, oh my God, or super down-regulated, like, oh, I have no energy. We want to go right in the middle of that. So we're inhaling, opening, filling up and expanding, and then exhale, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Shake and release, make some noise. Soften your neck, tongue, and throat. Lots of holding tends to go on in here. So let's just do a quick panning of the horizon. Check out your space, look around. If you can do some far vision, like looking out the window and seeing far away, and some near vision so you can see stuff close by, that is great exercise for your eyes. Also, as we're doing this, looking around in the horizontal plane, we're taking in the information that we are indeed safe. So our brainstem can go, oh, it's okay. I don't need to freak out. I can let go of some of the tension I might be holding. If it's hard to move your head and neck, then go smaller. Make it smaller, make it gentler, make it easier. Relax your neck, jaw, and tongue. Relaxed and easy. So we did this, right? We did our breathing in the vertical plane. We have our up, down, and our side, side. Now we're going to just spiral in the horizontal. So the arms are reaching out, spiraling from side to side. Inner body getting some movement. You can add some breath to that. Right? All this whole part, like your rib cage, lungs, heart, and organs are moving when you do this. So when we think about moving our body, it's not just for the musculoskeletal system. It's for the nervous system. It's for the respiratory system. It's for the circulatory system. It's even for the digestive system, right? It's for everything. Shake it out so that everything inside is getting some mobility. We're going to do one more version of that twist. This one, you're going to shift your weight and flex your foot. So it's a weight shift, flexing your foot, looking around behind you. And I like to kind of reach out through my fingers here and then relax them as it comes. So there's an active reach and then release, active reach and release. So my feet and my hands are getting this like stretch out and then it releases, stretch out, release. So I can feel this core distal relationship, right? Core, center, distal edges. We could also talk about the center and the periphery, feeling around those edges of my realm of movement, my kinesphere. And I could take it higher, up and down, up and down, wrapping. So I'm getting all my joints working, spiraling in a very three-dimensional way. Good. And let's shake that out, let it go. And we're going to come in to do lymph. So rubbing our hands together. And I'm going to take my right hand up to this upper left quadrant. So we can have a lot of relationship with our health. Like we don't need to depend on everyone else. Like, oh, I got to take a pill so I can be healthy. No, we can do a lot of moves and actions to be healthy in our body. Deep diaphragmatic breathing. That's one of them. Taking that physiological sigh, which is like once every 5 minutes, we take a big breath in. And that opens up those little lung sacs that are taking in the oxygen deep down in our lungs. If we don't do that, those little sacs are like little wet balloons, stop opening easily. If our lungs aren't opening easily, we're not going to be healthy. That's like we need this oxygen in our system. And the interesting thing about that is that if we're on screens, on small little devices, and this isn't the same for reading a book, but a small device with a screen, it somehow inhibits that natural physiological sigh, which happens once every 5 minutes. Just you can watch a cat, they'll do it too, or a dog, like take that big sigh where they fill up those lung sacs again. So if we aren't doing that, we're leading into a less healthy body, right? And if we're on our devices, and I felt this, I'm like, I can feel this little inhibition. If you remind yourself, then you're going to keep opening them up. But how many people are thinking about their lungs when they're on their device? We want that capacity. All right, so we're coming into lymph. So lymph is another detoxifier of your body. It's the main detoxifier of your body. If lymph nodes get blocked, you're going to get sick. So right hand to this left upper quadrant. Relax your neck and tongue. Come in, breathing into it. So you always want to start with your right hand in the left upper quadrant. And this is like the biggest area of lymph that's coming back in to reabsorb and then go back out again. So this is where like the lymph that's come out, that's done the work in your body, clearing out toxicity and whatnot, is coming back, recapitulating. And there's more happening on the left side. The left side is responsible for 3/4 of your body, while the right side is just doing this upper quadrant and your cisterna chyli. And the cisterna chyli is a pretty big one, so it might kind of even it out, take it to the right. But we always want to start on the left. And if you're like a maximalist, you could do both at the same time, right? So we're getting under this collarbone in this upper quadrant. Some people kind of do it barely touching. Get in there, like use your hand like a little tree frog pancake and get that whole area moving. Yeah, super important. Clearing out the lymph. And I'm just going with both sides. You can see that I'm getting a histamine response on my skin. It's getting kind of red. And then I'm going to go in behind the angle of my jaw, getting in there. And then I'm going to take that all the way under this whole ridge of my jaw. And you can feel like, oh, is there one of those little lymph nodes that's a little blocked? If there is, be kind of gentle, but give it a little bit more movement. Don't jam your fingers in there if it hurts, but just gently mobilize the skin around it and the fascia around it so that you can reabsorb some of the fluids that might be kind of blocked and locked there. Relax your neck and tongue, just coming around the back of your head, so your whole occipital ridge, lots of things are happening in here, right? If we go deeper in, our vagus nerve is coming out down through that part of our head. And then also in the middle is our foramen magnum, which is where our brainstem and spinal cord are connecting down into our spinal cord. So we want freedom and movement there. All right, then we're going to continue on. We're going to go into just the armpit and pec. So getting in there, this whole area, upper quadrant. I now have my right hand to my left again. Breathing. Switch it to the other side, same thing. Get it moving. If you feel pain in there, then that's a probably good indication that there's some blockage. And like when we're blocked, when things are blocked, when things are stagnant, that's when we get sick, right? That's when we aren't healing as well. That's when our body isn't working at its best. Let's just do quickly in here with the K27 points. So here's your collarbones, my collarbones, a little bit down. There should be an indentation there. Give that a little circling. So if you're just, I see people kind of popping in and out. Great if you can do this from the beginning. Yeah, and then you're going to do a little Tarzan. Yeah, and I am trying to live stream Wednesdays 9-ish, Thursdays 10-ish Eastern time, and Saturdays 9:30-ish Eastern time. So it might be a few minutes after that the live stream actually starts, because I usually open up the room for the Zoom ahead of time, or not ahead of time, at 9, and then when people come in, we finally start. So it could be about 5 minutes after. Giving yourself some movement. And if I make noise, I'm getting all that vibration in there as well. All right, so sternochyli coming in. Here's my xiphoid process, the bottom of that little nub and the bottom of my ribs and my belly button right in the middle. So sternochyli, biggest cistern of lymphatic getting in there. And I'm moving my body too, kind of collapsing around it so my hands can go in. If I'm vertical, a lot of my abs are just kind of blocking my entrance. So if I soften a little bit, I can get in there. And then I'm going to stand up and get into my inguinal fold on each side. So here's my hip bone, my ASIS pubic bone, right in the middle between those two places. Lots of lymph nodes, lots of lymphatic drainage possibilities in there. And then our final place is going to be behind the eye of the knee, right in there. You can bend and straighten. I always feel like if I'm moving from the inside and massaging on the outside, I'm getting it from both directions, right? So it's really going to get some mobility. And just because I know so many people who have issues with their calves and ankles, this is not the lymph thing so much, but we're just going to go down the back of the leg, just waking up that tissue, right? You can be bent here. We're not going for our biggest hamstring stretch, but just letting, and you're going to feel your muscles, right? They're not really soft if you're in this position, they're engaged, but just getting some movement in the tissue from the back of the calf down to the Achilles. So nothing's locking up down there. And then shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. And we'll start with circles with your pelvis. Circling around, mobilizing your tail, mobilizing your hip sockets, right? So you're greasing up that ball and socket joint, femur head coming into your pelvis. Change direction, other way. Let your feet move, bones and muscles of the feet mobilizing. And then let's do the standing cat-cow. So standing cat-cow, we're going to use internal and external rotation in our internal rotation, external rotation in the upper body, internal rotation, external rotation in the lower body. So we're going to round and curl, arch and open. Exhale, hollow and curl. Inhale, arch and open. Exhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. And if you see this sideways, I'm here and there. Still kind of vertical in my body, but curling and arching. So all of the tissue, all of the fascia in my body is having a chance to do this, right? We're getting this really three-dimensional movement with that spiraling, as opposed to just sort of more linear movements where maybe we're just moving. I mean, all of it's good, but we want to have the access to all of that in our body. See how much I'm moving. Let's just do it here. Rounding and opening, spiraling in, rounding, opening, and letting my shoulder blades widen and then narrow. Chest, heart, and lungs. Look at you getting the 360. Chest, heart, and lungs. Opening and closing. If I take my hands up, what is that like now? So they're still pretty much out to my sides. If I come slightly forward, open it backward, forward, backward. So many people have wrist, rotator cuff, shoulder, neck, all issues. So if we get that tissue moving, give that fascia more hydration, more possibility. The fascia is the organ of form. It holds us. And it also forms by how we move. So if we aren't doing any movement, it's going to be kind of like felt, like disorganized and not coherent. But if we move in multiple different ways, a variety of ways, a variety of tempos, a variety of locations, or even just one location, but move in a lot of different ways, we're going to make that tissue a lot healthier. We're going to reintegrate the fluids in our system and just give that fascia more durability, more pliability. All right, let's take it down to the floor. So I have weights. If you have weights, great. I also have a block. If you have a block, great. These weights are low. They're 3-pound weights. For the stuff that we're going to do, I wouldn't recommend anything higher than 5-pound weights unless you do a ton of weights. We'll get there in a second. Let's just come down and knee drop from side to side. So letting the knees fall one way and then the other, letting that massage through your butt, letting it massage through your sacrum. So taking the brakes off, right? Driving the car without riding the brakes at the same time. So if we are holding a lot of tension, that's like putting the brakes on when we're driving. We want to soften, release, and melt. If you're holding that tension, you're not giving your body and your muscles the cycle to be able to actually get stronger and to get more flexible, right? We need to be in these release patterns where we're really soft. We're not holding a bunch of tension, but we're easily moving. We're increasing the level of flow, the capacity for flow in our body, not by adding tension, but by releasing tension. All right, let's come in and feet are parallel. We're going to press up. Once you get up there, let's take the arms up too and just spiral the arms in and out. As you're spiraling your arms, feeling your scapula moving on your back, you might be getting a little massage in your upper traps. But again, we're working with that tissue down through the arms, through the bones as well, right? We want the bones to have that intelligence and density, right? We move them, we require more of them, and they go, oh, I need to be a little stronger here. All right, we're going to take our hands down and circle with the pelvis. So this is working our back, right? And we're freeing up the pelvis. Again, we're working with that relationship of the femur head into our pelvis, into our hip socket, and change direction. And ideally, we're feeling into our feet. So sometimes when we come into this position, people get all sorts of weird tension patterns in their toes and ankles. Try to connect your whole foot to the floor. And by your whole foot, I mean your toes. Your arch maybe is lifted. If you have nice arches, if you have flat feet, you want to start relating to them more because you can start to develop the muscles that lift your arch a little bit. Come in, lift high, and roll it down. And we're going to take it into a quick happy baby, just opening up in the baby, freedom in your baby. Wiggle around, let it go. Opening up. Yeah, so the movements that I teach and the movements that I'm doing in these classes are really long-term health of your tissue, of your body, of your nervous system. Rolling back and forth, massaging through your back. If it hurts to go forward, backward, you can always roll side side instead. So today I'm not doing a very extreme class in terms of like we're going to work hard and engage our muscles a lot. It's much more extreme in we're going to keep balancing our nervous system, working with our tissues, hydrating joints, all that kind of stuff. And bend your knees, circles. And what I would also say is like doing these classes and teaching these classes like for my whole life, not my whole life, but let's say I think I started teaching in gyms in 1997. And so, yeah, so for 26 years, open wide, internally rotate one leg at a time. This has been like the reason that I can go and pole dance, that I can dance ballet, that I can like throw myself around and keep coming back to like health and resilience in my body. And to me, like that's so fun. I love throwing myself around. I love doing more extreme stuff. But the reason I can is because of this. So let's grab the weights if you have some. If you don't have weights, no problem. You can just hold your hands together or hold a book. Get something heavy. Circling your arms around your body. Inhale, open, and exhale, close. Using your breath. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, come up. And then change direction. Oh yeah, I feel my neck adjusting. And when we add weight, it just requires more of the tissue, more of the joints, more of the fluids actually, because they're going to renegotiate the inside of your body. They're going to recapitulate, right? You see it if you work really hard, the muscle gets filled with blood, right? So it's like, oh, now we're ready to do things. So like often like our first set is going to be waking everything up, and then our second set is going to be, oh, now we're strong and prepped. And in this class, we're not doing multiple sets of the same exercise. We keep just shifting exercise, exercise, exercise. So it's a little different. Take your hands up, internally rotate, externally rotate, feeling that relationship. You can bend your elbows, like try and touch them together as they come in front of you. So there's this spiraling action again. This is all for rotator cuff health. Then let's open it out like we're going to do a fly, just opening and closing, actually maybe doing it. All of this stuff, so important. We were made to use our bodies, right? And now everything's so automated, we barely do anything. Not, it's so unhealthy. It's kind of funny and sad. We aren't winning in the body department, like the way that we look at body. Let's just do like a sort of a punch. I'm spiraling forward, spiraling down, and I'm letting my shoulder come forward. Like I could stabilize my torso, and I'm actually going to lift up a little and push out. So I'm getting some movement in my lat, letting my head roll from side to side. Getting, again, that spiral in the tissue, and then take them in. Let's do it here. Elbows are into your sides. You don't have to open all the way. Open as much as feels okay, but again, we're getting that movement in the rotator cuff, feeling how that feels. Yeah, and since I started pole dancing, all of this arm work and like how to keep my joints healthy, how to keep my arms strong enough has become really important. Or how to recover quickly when I do get injured. And let's take it in. And let's go with the arms. Let's do this. Let's take the arms here and reach the legs out. So we're going to go arms just to the ceiling and exhale up. Inhale, exhale. Inhale. So because I'm using the weights, this actually means that I'm using my abs a little less because they're kind of balancing me out. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale. If you want to make it harder and make it more extreme, you can take your arms over your head. I recommend facing your palms towards each other. And again, it's not that extreme, but it really depends on how much weight work you do, how much strength you have. If it feels weird and uncomfortable and painful in your joints, get rid of your weights. Big breathing. Everything out. Breathe deep. Inhale. Exhale. 4 more. 3, 2. Last one. And let's get rid of the weights. And let's just, I want to open up in a different way. So instead of doing a lift with our pelvis, let's do it from here, just arching back. You're going to inhale, open, and exhale. Hands can be anywhere supporting you. You can also take this further back. You can curl your toes under, touch your heels, opening up for full camel. Or feet on the floor, same thing. Yeah, so when we're in different positions, doing different things with our body, it's going to affect the tissue differently, right? So if you are doing a bridge from your back, that's one thing. If you are doing it here, where this is really a bridge, right? We're arching our back. It's going to be something different. It's really different in the head and neck. So if it hurts to drop your head back, don't drop it back. Just stay here. If it feels okay, go for it. Breathing into it, taking your tail back, releasing into a child's pose. Just wiggle from side to side. Let it go. Melt and soften. Shift your weight back towards your heels and come up. And we're going to do a spiral, bringing your legs around, rolling across one butt cheek and then the other. So I taught a class at the gym yesterday, and we did a lot of tendus and plies, and I can feel a lot tighter in my butt and hips. So just rolling across it, massaging it out. I can also kind of get in there and roll. So there's more shear force that releases a lot of tension in the tissue. All right, we're going to do the big circles with the legs because I feel like these are so important. So on your back, circling, big circles or small circles, depending on how you feel. You could take your legs up Or you could do it more like jackknife with your legs going back. If I take my legs up, I'm going to work my arms more. Then I can bring it down, open. This could also just be small circles on the ceiling. If you're doing it like this, lengthen out through your legs. You could even flex. I'm going to be pointed here. I think I'm going to flex in the other direction. Using your breath. Last one. And shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. And then we're going to flex and change direction. So it's going to go down, out, up, and in. I'm going to point down and then flex out and up. And I'm going to leave my butt on the floor for these. You can also take your head off the floor if you want, or not. Really working with what feels good to you right now. And listen to your body, right? Don't decide, oh, these are harder, I should do it this way, or this is better for whatever reason. Listen to your body. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Yeah, and it's a fine line, listening to the wisdom of your body or listening to like the not so wise part, the angel and devil on your shoulder, right? One is saying, eat the Doritos, and the other one's saying, go for a walk. Sometimes you gotta do both. Press up, interlace your hands behind your butt. If you can, walk your shoulders closer together, go for it. From here, we're gonna inhale, knees open, exhale, knees closed. Inhale, open, exhale, close. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. So the tissue in around your thigh, the tissue all around your femur head is getting this spiraling in and opening out. So this is really healthy for like the fascia that is under your IT band, right? IT band is this big bandy fascia going down the outside of your thigh. Underneath that is another layer of much more jelly-like, but still structured fascia underneath. So when we're doing this kind of movement, right, if we didn't have those layers, we wouldn't be able to do this really three-dimensional movement with our legs. We would just be able to do certain stuff. But we can be very three-dimensional with our movement, right? Our bodies can adjust, and ideally, like, not now so much because we're on all these flat surfaces, flat floors, flat walks, pathways that are all flat. Our body doesn't have to adjust as much. But if we were living in nature, in a natural environment, or in a cave, we'd always be on these adjusting surfaces, right? So we need that tissue to have all of this capacity for mobility. All right, opening up the arms side side with the legs spiraling. If you want to straighten your legs, go for it. I'm inhaling down, exhaling up. Could be done the other way. Last one. And I'm going to open it up, stretch it out. Circling your wrists and your ankles. Change direction. Bring it in, shake it out. Let's do this in this little mixture of gyrokinesis or gyrotonic and sort of Pilates. So single leg stretch, one leg is coming in, going 1, 2, 3. You're going to circle your legs away from each other and change. Then you have the other one. 1, 2, 3. Circle your legs away. 1, 2, 3. Circle and open. Feeling that spiral through the tissue in the leg, through the joint. Open, open, open. 1. You can also drop your head down. 2, 3. Open it up. 1, 2, 3. Open it up. 1, 2, 3. Open. 1, 2, 3. Open. Shake it out. Shake, shake, shake. Let the tissue soften back up and release. And I want to do a little bit more side with an arch. So there's two versions of this. Let's go easy first. You're going to take your outside leg so that your knee is on the floor. The other foot is just straight up to the ceiling, kind of like you're in this right angle here. Pressing your pelvis up in the middle, pulsing. Going 1, 2. Try to push evenly with both sides. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Switch it to the other side. Your knee is on the floor, your calf is on the floor, pressing up the middle, going right out on that diagonal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We'll do it one more time. So as I'm doing this, I can feel either I dominate with this leg or this leg. Is it possible to really evenly press with both legs? So pay attention to what your body's doing. Going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And anytime you're working out, it's really easy just to sort of go off into la la land and start daydreaming about stuff. Try to stay present with your body by feeling, how are you doing this? What choices are you making? Press it up. So with this, like if I really stay present with that feeling of, am I pushing evenly with both legs? Or which one's dominating, then I can stay really present with the exercise and not have wandered off to the rest of my day or what happened yesterday. Pressing up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I can also like start to feel in my whole body. So I can go, okay, I feel like I've gotten it kind of even there. Now what's going on with my arms? What's going on with my head? What's going on with my neck, right? Tracking through the onion, right? The layers of the onion. Peel off one layer, there's another layer. Check that one out. So just staying present with yourself as you're in movement. It's like a kind of meditation with your movement or a focus practice where you're bringing yourself into yourself and going, what is going on here? And it's not to go in there and be like a perfectionist and objectify your body. So you're not like, oh, this is bad, this is good. It's more like, what do I feel? What is happening? Is this leg working more? Is this leg working more? What's happening? What am I feeling? What can I do in there? Can I bring more internal space? Can I bring more breath? Can I feel into this? Can I make this feel better? So that's what I'm talking about with that idea. So you can use movement to be a great focus practice for like being present with whatever you're doing. It's so easy when you're feeling something to go, what does this really feel like? Like I'm moving my hand, what does it feel like in my skin? What does it feel like in my joints? Can I be really free flow and just allow movement to evolve? Or do I need to have a pattern that I'm telling it what to do, right? Just thinking in terms of movement. So we're going to come into a regular plank. If you need to do a forearm plank here, go for it. We're going to push forward and backward. Head is reaching forward, heels are reaching back. Feeling into your body, feeling into the support of your arms, feeling into the pecs. Maybe I can feel my lats here also supporting my arms. We're going to take the one knee down. We're going to go onto our side. Take a big arm circle. Let's do a couple of arm circles, opening rib cage, chest, and lungs. This is about mobility, change direction, open it up. You can look towards your hand as you're doing those arm circles. And then let's take it back into your plank. Hold that for a second. Let's move forward and backward again. Feel the difference between the two arms now. One of them was just circling, the other one wasn't. How do they feel? Put your knee down, take it onto your side. Big arm circles here, circling open. Let your rib cage, lungs, and heart move. Change direction. Yeah, diaphragm moving. We want health in the diaphragm, right? If we impinge our breath, if we make our breath smaller, then we're impinging our diaphragm. This is so important for our health. Just coming back for a second. So our diaphragm is in here. Here's the bottom of my ribs. And right along that edge is going to be my diaphragm. And it's going like this through my body. It's like kind of on an angle. It's not this flat, like umbrella surface. It's kind of on the angle. If you feel the top of your ribs in the front, bottom of your ribs in the back, they are doing that. Diaphragm is nestled under there. As you inhale, especially if you breathe down into your belly, you're descending the diaphragm. The diaphragm is descending down. Wait a minute. Yeah, and it's pushing your organs down. And that's healthy for your organs. They need that movement. So your diaphragm is doing this, right? If you're just breathing up here in the top of your lungs, keeping it all up there, you're not getting as much oxygen. A lot of the alveoli that are taking in that oxygen are in the lower lobes of your lungs. They're down there. Another interesting fact is that, and you can see this because there's our diaphragm, right, going like that. So our lungs are in here. Most of our lung is in the back body, right? So we want to have this really three-dimensional breath that's expanding forward, backwards, side, side, up, down in the diagonals, taking up space with our breath. And I just think that's such an important thing because I know, especially for women, like women often in my classes, this is what I've noticed, don't like to breathe out loud. And I find it for myself, like, I'm really huffing and puffing here. Oh my God, I should try and quiet my breathing so people don't think that I'm working as hard as I'm working. But it's exactly the opposite, right? We need to breathe big. Take up the space of your own aliveness, right? If I'm not taking in the oxygen that my body is asking for, what am I cutting off, right? What am I doing to myself? So we want to get a really nice, deep relationship with the breath where we're like, yeah, I'm going to allow myself to take up that space. I'm going to come into that coherence of really deep breathing all the way down into my belly. So my diaphragm's really healthy. And I can take up space with my breath. I can breathe big. James Nestor book, Breath. Get it, read it. So important. Yeah, I don't know why we don't think about these things in our culture. All right, let's do opposite arm to leg. We're going to go out, take it out to the side, diagonal, bring it back in, and come down. Up, diagonal, in, down. Reach it, open it, back to center, down. Up, diagonal, in, down. Up, diagonal, lengthen, lower. Feel your midline. Feel your head-tail connection. Lengthen it out. Take it in, curl your toes under, take your tail up to the ceiling, bending one knee, bending the other, walking through. Look under one armpit, look under the other. And then you're going to lift your heels high, round your spine, roll it forward into a plank. Let's lower all the way down to the floor. At the bottom, touch down, arch, lift and open, take it back down, curl your toes under, pressing it up, back into your plank. Drop your head, roll it up to the ceiling, lift your heels, lift your butt, lower your heels, heels high, scoop your belly in, round your spine, roll it forward like a wave. Take it all the way forward, lowering down, slow lower, all the way down to the floor. Once you hit the bottom, arch up, open the front of your body, take it all the way back down, push the floor away, curl your toes under, fight for it. Drop your head, roll it up to the ceiling. Let's take the right leg as high as it can go. You're going to fold your knee behind the left, up and down. Inhale, open, exhale, fold. Inhale, open, exhale, fold. Inhale, open, reach it out as if you are making a triangle between your toes on top, your hand and foot on the bottom. Exhale, feel into that triangle, make it bigger. Exhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale, open. Exhale, inhale, two more. Exhale, inhale, last one. Exhale, inhale, lower it down. Walk it in. We're going to release your, take your hands off the floor and just open out, shifting from side to side. Letting your wrists soften. Drop your hands down. Let your spine release, tail to head, head to tail. And roll it all the way up. Coming up to the top, big inhale, lift, open up, exhale, stick out your butt, take it down. Hands on the floor, walk it back in to your downward dog, left leg up to the ceiling, and drop your knee behind the other knee. Reach out into your triangle. Oh, hello kitty. Take it down and lift and lower. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale, stretch and open. See if you can take it further every time. Reach. 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Good. And release it down. Walk it in. Maybe feet closer this time. Interlace your hands behind your back. Bend and straighten your knees a couple times there. If you want to make this a little harder, you can come down, take it into a squat, take it up, interlace back. You can put your hands down at any time if you need to, but we're working with this mobility pattern. A lot of people can't do a squat. Use your breath. We could also take it into our squat, reach it all the way up to stand, take it into our squat and stretch it back. Into our squat, reach it up, into our squat, stretch it back. Bend your knees, press it up, bend your knees, take it back, bend your knees, press it up, bend your knees, take it back. 2 more, bend, press, bend. You can take this as deep as you want. You could just go here and up, but it's nice to get all the way down there. And relax. Hello, quads. Take it down onto your back, onto your butt. Shake them out. Mobilize the tissue so it's not all jammed up, right? You also want to make sure you drink a lot of water. So as you're hydrating tissue, you also need to be hydrated yourself. All right, let's do one big stretch here. If you're tighter, you may want to elevate your pelvis. I'm going to flex my feet, arch all the way down, and then I'm going to surrender and curl and roll it up. So lifting my chest, opening this up, everything is stretching out and away. I'm going to take it down and then roll and come back up. Arch and open, hollow and curl, arch and open, hollow and curl, arch, open. And then we're going to change it. We're going to round down. So it's going to be a little bit more in and it's going to open out. So pointed toes, drop your head, round it down, radiate out, flex your feet, open, open, open. Point, hollow, curl, take it down. Everything radiates away from center, opening up. Scoop your belly in, round your spine. Reach, 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 and open. If you're tighter, you could do it like this, rounding and lifting, rounding and lifting. But if you're open, go for the big one. Hollow curl, take it down. Reach, 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 and open. And bring it together, give them a bang. So again, we've just really kind of opened up that tissue. You want to be soft in there. So it's not like opening out and getting hard. It's opening out and getting pliant. Bang it out. Calves also releasing here, right? So just doing that bang, you can see there's movement in my tissue, or if I do that, right? My calves tend to be kind of tight. Lifetime of dancing. This one you can see that is moving really nicely, right? There's fluidity, there's flow. It's moving like water. I don't know if you can see that, but it's loose. Let's see it on this side if we can get the same thing. Yeah, if I relax. But there's like lots of layers here. So it's usually the deepest layer close to the bone that's more tight. So if I just kind of get in there, lots of hands-on is a great way to stay healthy. Hands on your own body. You can't afford to get a massage like me, then you have to do it yourself, right? So yeah, I have to say the one thing that I've been fairly, and I'm going to go down the front. So here's your tibialis anterior. For a lot of people, this is really jammed up next to the bone here. So you can just gently give it a soft little pull away. Then I'm going to take the back of my hands right here and I'm going to circle down the muscle. So fascia, muscle, getting some movement. If you're a runner, a cyclist, anything like that, this kind of mobility in your, or a dancer, in that tibialis anterior is going to be happy, good juju for you. So taking it down. What I was going to say is throughout my life, the thing that I have been able to afford, because I have some very generous friends, is pretty regular chiropractic. And the chiropractor that I have to thank the most, there's two of them actually, Amy Burke, and she is practicing now. I think she's in Venice. She might be in Venice, Italy. I think she's in Venice. And then another one is Surah Al Shabib. Both of them, oh my God, life-changing work on my body. And it's not just crack, crack, crack. There's a lot of really fine, like, integration happening on these different levels, like of the tissue, of the fluids, of the fascia, of the energy patterns. So that has been something that's really, really helped me throughout my life. So thank you, Amy Burke, DC, and Surah Al Shabib. Both of you have been fantastic. All right, hands behind you, pressing up, just pushing, pulsing, opening the front of your body. I can also shift from side to side here, right? Come back into center, pulse, and then shift from one hand to the other, right? This I am doing for my own deltoids, for my own health in my shoulder girdle. When I shift from side to side, it's very different. Pulse, shift, pulse. So I'm working the back of the body in this pulse. And then as I'm doing that shift, I'm just working into the humerus in this ball and socket joint, right? Into my deltoid, into all those little intrinsic muscles. Breathing into that. Let's take it down, or I'm almost done. We'll be finished in a few minutes. Let's take it into we're going to go back and forth. I think it's called dolphin, from downward dog to dolphin. If you have wrist and shoulder issues and can't do it with your butt up in the air, you can try it here, right? Just coming down with your weight back if that hurts, if you've got issues, or with your weight forward if you're okay. If you're all healthy up there, we're going to do it here. Elbows to the floor and then push to your dog. Elbows down, press it up. Elbows, push. Elbows, push. Elbows, push. Take it down, push it up, down. Oh, it's hard. Down and up. And last one. Wah! Rounding your spine. You're going to curl your spine, lift up onto your tippy toes, look at your belly button, then bend your knees and arch, stick out your butt. Hollow and curl, look towards your belly button, rounding your spine, up onto your tippy toes, heels toward the floor, knees bend, look forward, arch. So my weight is kind of going back and forward and back and forward. Back and forward and back and forward. Back and forward. Just talking about the weight shift here. Good. And release it and come down. And let's take our hands, interlace. Your fingers are squeezing together and your elbows are trying to pull out to the side. Taking your arms up over your head, circles, mobilizing rib cage, lungs, and heart, mobilizing your scapula, and change direction other way. So this has been really a health of the rotator cuff and shoulder girdle class, hopefully getting into our lymph, hopefully getting into all the stuff. We're going to come all the way up to standing and finish it off with a scale of movement. So this is just a centering exercise that you can feel into your up and downness. So if you're feeling scattered all over the place, bring it in, feel into your breath, rise and follow the breath, breathe big, and also find the midline of your body. So my hand is here. I'm showing you the verticalness of my body, which brings myself into myself. Here I am in the vertical. And then I can sort of take in the environment, opening up, sharing information, gathering in. We call this scattering and gathering. This is a very sharing and caring place. And this is also where I can come into the primitive brain and go, oh, I'm safe in my environment. So I can look around, take in the environment, go, I'm safe. So I find myself in center, I look around, am I safe? Then I can feel into the backspace. I can kind of expand into my backspace so that I can feel supported by what has come before me and I'm ready to move forward with my life. Or I'm ready to just nestle into that, right? But finding the up down, opening out into the horizontal, and then feeling into the backspace. What is supporting me? What came behind me? What have I done in my life? What have my ancestors done? What's been happening? What is behind me? And as you're in that, if there's a lot of crap, don't focus on that part. Focus on the good part. All right, inhale, open, stretch it out and up. And exhale, shake it out, let it go. If you watch any of these videos, feel free to like and subscribe. It makes a difference. I'm still trying to get to 4,000 hours of watching time, and I need 1,000 viewers before I can monetize my channel, before I can even be in the fitness line on YouTube. Like, this is a how-to. So, or it's educational. It's not for health and fitness and wellness, because I can't be on that until I get a YouTube thing. So please help me out with that. Invite your friends, ask your mom to subscribe. It doesn't, you don't owe anything. You never have to look at it again, but it would really help me out. So that would be helpful. Also, feel free to join my Patreon or make a donation. A one-time donation of even $2 would be fantastic. Anything that you feel like you can contribute would super duper help my heart and soul and my finances. So that is my plea. Big love to you and to your life. Right? Feel into that. Have some gratitude just for being alive in a human body. Like, what could be better? Here we are.